Hey, gun people. Well, red flag law snagged this guy's weapon. I'm not so sure they couldn't have done this without a red flag, but this doesn't seem like a huge government overreach. Hang on. I know everybody just freaking threw shit at their computer. Man, you're supporting red flag. I think red flag laws are wrong. They're unconstitutional. It's pre-crime. It's arresting for thought. It's arresting for free speech. They're wrong. It's bullshit. But I'm telling you, red flag laws are going to be used just like this to take guns from good people, and it ain't going to do a damn thing to stop bad people. So, here's this former Marine using Oregon's red flag laws. They took his guns away. So I'm reading an article, and it's kind of interesting. Let's see. Large knife strapped on him. He's wearing a Make America Great Again hat. So this fits the liberal left agenda that anybody that supports Trump is a gun-toting maniac, whatever. Okay, he's wearing a hat. He's a right-wing activist. Ooh, right-wing. Another thing. He's carrying a gun. He's got a hat. Okay. He's out here saying people should protect themselves against anti-fascists, Antifa. If Antifa gets to the point where they start killing us, I'm going to kill them. I don't think that's a threat. That doesn't sound like a threat to me. Now look, this article gets complicated because it sounds like I'm taking this guy's position and I'm against government, and at the end it's going to sound like I'm for government and I'm against this guy. But I'm just trying to get you to see both sides and to critically think and evaluate what you're being told and what you're reading. And unfortunately, cases like this will give red flag laws strength and say, look how great they work. So this guy is kind of a useful idiot. Okay, I'd slaughter them, and I have a detailed plan on how I would wipe them out. That's getting a little more to a threat. Now he's got prior planning. I still don't think it should be arrestable. I mean, if I plan to fight the government when they're tyrannical, should they arrest me because I'm planning to fight? Well, I mean, I think we're getting to that point in America, which we're losing our freedoms. And again, the left is the big push against anti-freedom. They talk about freedom and they hate freedom. They hate anything that doesn't agree with them. They are the most tyrannical socialist communist group that America has ever seen. And it's just crazy that they have such a foothold in this country, because we got a bunch of pussification of America. But anyway, I digress. Let's see here. The task force also had the ex-Marine committed to a veterans hospital in Portland where he spent 20 days. Well, that's not really 100% true. They brought him there. He agreed to go there. They probably did what's called a 72-hour, a welfare check, or if you're a danger to yourself, they can put a 72-hour evaluation psychological hold on you, saying, hey, we think this guy's a danger to others or danger to themselves. Then the government gets to turn it over to another government shrink, and then the shrink gets to say, well, will I release him or put him in custody? And normally they release everybody that does this. But in today's day and age, if you even get evaluated, you're guilty. The moves come prepared for violent, police. Though Caulfield wasn't accused or charged with any crime. That's the key. They didn't have to charge him. They have the red flags laws where they can just take his guns. Wasn't accused of any crimes. Police took no chances. Oh, great police came to our rescue. Prevented him from attending the rally as he promised to do so on a social media. So they want to, again, stop him from being a voice of reason or a pushback against the left. He began to be more aggressive toward potential political threats, said Michael German, a retired FBI agent. Oh, so now we got retired FBI agents attacking him, so it must be credible. Because Comey's a retired FBI agent, and we all know how credible he is. Oh, let's see. Justice, law school. Yeah, great. Clearly, the last incident shows how ineffective proactive policing can be in reducing violence. Let's see. Where is he at here? The FBI declined to provide additional details or answer questions. Imagine that. The FBI is always Johnny on the spot about giving information to push their agenda to show how great they are. But when they do something on a red flag law or FISA court, suddenly they don't want to give out information. And the public's okay with that because there's absolutely no pushback to holding the federal government accountable. Spokesman Bureau sometimes mitigate. Where do they get into? Suffer. Okay, here we go. Cofield, who spoke with the Oregon Live, suffers from bipolar disorder and post-traumatic stress disorder, as medical records say. Well, that right there is enough for them to take your guns. So the red flag law, I think it's enough to prevent you from buying a gun. I don't know if it's enough to take your gun. He returned home Tuesday from a VA hospital, maintains he never planned to hurt anybody, but understands why the police were alarmed. I ain't ever, this is a political statement. This is a statement trying to show that I'm reasonable. I realize my ways were wrong. I'm sorry, and I understand how the great police are just trying to protect people. That's all bullshit. But it sounds nice, and it makes other idiots think that this guy is reasonable. I looked unhinged, I look dangerous, and have the training to be dangerous. When you start making comments like that, people, you paint a target on you. You got to be careful. I mean, anybody in the military basically has training on how to be dangerous. But when you start telling people your training makes you dangerous, there's a problem. Let's see. Cofield, who lives with his father, receives disability payments for physical and psychological injuries he sustained during two tours in Iraq. So, isn't it just like government? We're going to train you to kill. We're going to give you a gun. As long as you're working for us, you having a mean assault weapon and killing other people is absolutely fine, acceptable, and as a matter of fact, we'll even pay you for doing it. But once we're done using you for our benefit, you're just a pesky citizen that can be a pain in our butt, and now we're going to take away your guns because we think you're dangerous. One dangerous when he's in Iraq working for the government, now he's dangerous. Well, Rick, you're not being fair sometimes. I get it. It's just hypocrisy, the whole thing. By leveling vicious warnings, Cofield said he hoped to deter others from causing harm. All right, so he's saying he didn't want to cause harm. He was trying to deter. He's using the liberal feedback. I was just trying to prevent it. Antifa's out there trying to prevent things when they cover their face and attack people. I figured it was a key to de-escalating. I'm going to get to where his father makes a statement and kind of hangs him out. This has nothing to do with the article. Typical left-wing hit piece. A supporter of President Trump. Cofield said he isn't affiliated with the Patriot Prayer or Proud Boys or other right-wing groups. So, right-wing groups are anybody that's a patriot or for the Constitution. Hell, they probably think 3%ers. If you got a flag that says come and take it, if you got a flag that says don't tread on me, you're probably a white-wing group affiliated with, evil. I've got all those flags, by the way. Anyway, and he's a supporter of President Trump. Well, you can't support Trump, otherwise we can push the narrative that all Trump supporters are white-wing groups. So, that has nothing to do with it, but again, left-wing reporting, most of you guys that watch me understand this. There's a few people out there that are freaking idiots. The left doesn't want to understand it. They don't want to see the other side. They want to believe what they're being told, so they support this lies and this misrepresentation. His protest that he initiated, let's see. I was watching the news on Portland, and nothing was done to protect people against Antifa. I figured I'd show my support. Yeah, okay. By the time he popped up the mayor's house, Cofield was already on. By the time he popped up at the mayor's house, so he went to the mayor's house, Cofield was already on the FBI's radar. Oh, of course he was on their radar. They were Johnny on the spot. Every other mass killer, FBI had all kind of things on. They got away with it. It was someone else's fault. But in this case, they were Johnny on the spot, and they had him on the radar already. Woo! The FBI had him on the radar. Ooh. He landed in March, sent a letter to Texas Representative Crenshaw, a long-term former Navy SEAL. I think that's the patch dude who is supporting red flag laws. So he's a piece of shit in my book. I don't care if he was a Navy SEAL. I don't care if he's a Republican. And I don't care what his job is. If he's supporting red flag laws, he's a piece of shit in my book. A 5-page letter including court filings where they weren't doing things. He was trying to get them to take action. Let's see. U.S. Capitol Police shared the letter with the FBI. No shit. Because all government works together. Deputy interviewed Cofield and his father at their home. This is great. This is why you don't freaking talk to the cops, people. Stinson learned that Cofield has served in Marines and kept guns in the house. So, is that something new? Is that a problem? Cofield told deputy he would defend himself next time members attacked him. Is that a crime? Saying you're defending yourself? It is if you're white, a patriot, support Trump, and speak out against the left agenda. Then, if you say you're going to defend yourself, that's a problem. Let's see. Nearly 4 months after this visit. 4 months later, this is why I got a problem with red flag laws. If there was a crucial element, and if red flags laws were really intent on helping people, there would be a time limit on when you can act on the information. Once you get information, you've got to act within 24 hours. If it's that important, then you need to be acting. You can't be waiting 4 months and 2 weeks later. Hang on. I'm going to get to that. During the investigation, Cofield, let's see. Here we go. This is great. A deputy notified Portland that he opened a non-criminal inquiry. If it's non-criminal, what kind of inquiry is a non-criminal? Known as a threat investigation in response. So now we can do non-criminal inquiries, and if we call them non-criminal and just an inquiry, we can still come to your house, forcibly use government, and take your guns. Man, we are freaking in a communist country, people. Although I'm not supporting this guy 100%. Okay, I can't say he won't kill someone, said Cofield's father. Are you kidding me? His father sold his ass out. His father told the cops, I can't say he won't kill someone. Now, I think a lot of fathers could say that about their kids, but you don't want to be telling the cops that. The government will use that against you and your son. It's almost like the father wanted this guy arrested. Maybe the father wants him out of the house. Maybe he doesn't want to live with him. I don't know. During a police investigation, thanks, Dad. Thanks, Dad. Okay, he also told the police that his son was taking medications for bipolar disorder. He was drinking heavily and became increasingly agitated. Okay, people, this is where I'm moving toward government. As a cop, if I've got a guy who's writing letters to the senator saying he's going to take out and kill Antifa, now he's making public statements. He's got a plan on how to kill him. Now I find out he's on medications, and then I interview his father, and his father says, well, I can't say he wouldn't kill someone, but he's drinking a lot, he's got bipolar disorder, he's on medication, and he's become increasingly agitated. As a cop, my mind is, this guy's probably a danger. I might have 5150'd this guy. I might have said, you know what? This has a lot of indicators that I think I'm going to let a shrink talk to this guy. I'm going to put him on a 72-hour hold. I'm not saying I should seize his guns, and I'm not saying I should be doing a restraining order, but I'm definitely going to have a guy with this much information evaluated. And I know some of you are going to be calling me a bootleg jackhammer or whatever. Cofield's father provided that Shane was really upset by Portland's liberal government and the state and federal government. Thanks, Dad. Damn. Dude, I tell you what, if you want to go to prison, you need to just go confide in this guy's dad, because he's going to help you get there. What the hell? Stinson included all these details on a July 25th affidavit seeking an extreme risk protection order. So on July 25th, they're like, hey, we think this guy's a problem. We think he's so much of a problem, we need to seize his guns, take away his Second Amendment protected right, and we need to seize his guns because we think he's so much of a danger. 4-month investigation, and this is on July 25th. Such protection orders show signs they might shoot themselves or someone else. Each protection stands for a year, but can be indefinitely. Those who have their guns taken away can appeal decision. Well, that's nice. You can appeal. You can appeal government when government said, we want to take your guns. The government approved taking your guns. The judge said, take your guns, but don't worry, you can appeal. Yeah. Who wants... Ray Charles knows how that's going to turn out. Judges statewide have received 122 extreme orders, and they granted 98 of them. Damn, that's like a 90% rate of approval. Oregon's acting deputy state court administrator Cofield is only the 6th approved in this county. According to the document, law enforcement officers served him with the order on the 7th while he was visiting his family. So, on the 25th, they know all this information. And they wait the 26th, 27th, 28th, 29th, 30th, 1, 2, August 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 before they served him with the order. This is the biggest defense against these protective orders, and the defense attorney needs to go, wait a minute, Your Honor. If you and the government thought this guy was such a damn danger and such a turn, you did a 4-month investigation, then you got a protective order and you waited 2 weeks to go get his guns. Can anybody with a straight face really sit here and tell me that we really are concerned about this guy hurting somebody? Or are we just saying we're using the red flag law to take guns because we can? Because this does not indicate any sense of urgency. July 25th to August 7th, where is the exigency? Where is the emergency? You add on to this a 4-month investigation, and they didn't see that it was a danger, but they're using things from 4 months ago and things from 2 weeks ago to say, we think you're such a danger, and we're so concerned about the public, and we are so Johnny-on-the-spot government that we're on the ball, and we've got you on the radar that we're going to take your gun 2 weeks and 4 months after you were on our red flag. Does anybody think that that's reasonable? To me, this is a sham. It's BS, but there are a lot of indicators, and I do think they probably should have had to do something. So, you can hate at me on a comment. I like the way they show the Keep America Great Again hat. Anyway, well, in that there, this is probably the definition of a slippery slope. We can arrest and take guns and put you in psychological issues just because somebody complains about you. Absolutely outrageous. Although this guy gave them a lot of ammunition to stack in their order and to use against him. Not to mention good old dad hooking him up on the backside. All right, well, in that there,